Hey everyone, this is Norby Studios, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a Thomas the Tank Engine thumbnail. Now, this method is going to be using trains, but you can do this for anything as long as you can remove the background of your subject. So, first of all, what you're going to need to do is go to the website in the description, Zelda Boy 14 Production Works. It's the old website, but this one has the Greenscreen route, so you're going to want to download that. And now that you've done that, open up Trains, and I'm using Trains 22. Well, there's an update, but I'm using Trains 22, but that doesn't really matter. So all you gotta do here is just download the Greenscreen route by, of course, importing content files and all that. So now that you've done that, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, what you need to do is obviously open up the Greenscreen route, and as you can see, it is all green. We love the color green here. But you'll see that there's like this Zelda Spirit Tracks track. I'm not a huge fan of it. You can use it if you want, but what I usually do is go to the side and just add invisible track. And you can add a second one if you want to, if you wanted to add like a second engine or something, but I'm just gonna do this for one. Well, I might as well just do two screenshots just to give you two examples. So yeah, just add two tracks like so. Gotta make sure that's good. Alright, and now it's time to add your engine. So I'm just gonna add my OC Damien, and you see the shading is kind of off, but I'll show you how to fix that in a second. And yeah, and then after you've placed your engine, just place more invisible track, and then go to the download station. If you don't have this already, go to the download station and look up Flying Cam, and then download the Flying Cam. I already have the Flying Cam, so once you've downloaded that, you can get this one if you're using like a new era, like Trains a New Era, but since I'm using Trains 22, I'm going to use the PBR one. Both of them work the same, it's just, the PBR I guess looks better. But yeah, now it's time to change that off shading. All you need to do is go up here to Edit Environment, and then go to the Earth option, and then change that to South, or whichever one. And then, as you can see, the shading is better. So let's go to Drive Session, and now you need to go up here, select the Flying Cam, and then go up here to Cab, and now you're in this view. Now make sure you go to Settings and then Interface. No, I think it's General. Yeah, it's General. Go to General Settings and then Enable Free Internal Cam. That is very important, because that'll allow you to use the arrow keys and the page up and page down keys to basically just move the cab view wherever you want. So now you see that the FOV is a little bit too high, so just zoom in a bit, and then I usually do 1, 2 out, so it's a good FOV. That's what I do for my videos. So just get like a full view of your engine, and then press F5 to hide the user interface, and now your screenshot's ready. So just go ahead and take a little screenshot, and there you go. As you can see, I've got a screenshot. Now obviously, if you're actually wanting to do a thumbnail, I would change the face of your engine, but this is just a tutorial, so yeah. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this again, but with 2 engines. But I'm not going to show y'all because, you know, you already know how to do it. So yeah, I'll just skip to the part where I'm doing the next step. Alright, so now that you've done that, what you're going to need to do is select a route that you want to add a screenshot so that you can put it as like the bottom image or whatever other image that you're going to use. So for this example, I'm going to go to the fishing village bridge and just add Damien. And then just add some rolling stock. Just random rolling stock, you know, it doesn't really matter. In this example, it doesn't matter anyway. So I'm just going to add Damien a driver because for some reason it's not really doing that. Oh yeah, for this kind of model, it's kind of fucking up. There we go. Alright, so now that you've got your engine moving and your scene's all set up, what you're going to want to do is, I usually just go to roaming cam and just set up a basic shot like this, maybe a little bit more. You gotta make sure it's like zoomed out plenty because you gotta have a lot of space. So now let's just go ahead and set up our shot right there, and then just go ahead and take a screenshot. And now you're done with trains. Go ahead and shut it down. So now what you're going to want to do is head over to the description of this video. You'll see the thumbnail resources zip folder down there. That'll basically give you the resources you need for making thumbnails. So, and also, of course, you're going to need to download paint.net, which is also going to be in the description. So yeah, once you've downloaded both of those, let's go ahead and go to paint.net. So you're going to want to open that and then go to the thumbnail resources folder, and you'll see these 3 folders. Now the first thing we're going to do is download the font. So you see that there is a font. All you got to do is just unzip it and then go over here to font settings, just look it up down here, and then as you can see, just go ahead and drag and drop. So now what you need to do, now that your font's installed and everything, just go to the template folder and then plug it in right here and then open. So now you've got your template. Now I'm going to do 2 methods of this. So this method is going to be the one where the engine's on top. It's usually good for like 2 engines on the thumbnail. If you want to do one with only 1 engine, then go ahead and skip to this section of the video. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the next step. So you're going to want to go back to the folder and then go to TTTE logo, and then you'll see Thomas and Friends logo. This one doesn't matter because it's not in the folder, but it's just my Stories of the NWR logo. But yeah, let's just go ahead and drag and drop and then open. And then all you gotta do is just go to this tool, move selected pixels, click once, Control C, go over here, create a new layer, and make sure it's above, and now Control V, and now it's right there. Now it's way too big right now. All you need to do for that is just hold Shift, select this corner, and then downsize it to where it is a good size. So right there, that's a good size. It's starting to come together now. But something I didn't mention before is you want to match the color of the main character in the story. In this example, it's Damien. So I'm just going to paint it black. So yeah, now what you need to do is go to where your screenshots are, and then go down to where you stored your screenshots, and then open each of them. So now each of your screenshots are open. We're not going to use this one for this example. This is for the next example. Or yeah, this one is for this example, my bad. And then this one is for the next example. So basically what you need to do for this is just use your magic wand tool, hold shift, and then select the green. And what that does is it selects all of the color green in your green screen route. So now you just need to go to eraser tool, make it as big as you can, and then just erase it. So now your engines on your thumbnail have no background. So now it's just simply clicking Control-C and then going back to your thumbnail, and make sure you create a new layer for everything that you do here. So make sure this layer is below the background layer, and then just Control-C. And as you can see, they're way too big. Just shift and then drag it, and that's gonna be a recurring theme. Just shift, drag, shift, drag. The shift basically makes it to where you don't like skew it, you know. If you hold shift, as you can see, it just sizes it perfectly. So now that you've got that, go ahead and deselect, and now it is time to add your background, this, and it's very simple. Just click Control-C and then create a new layer. Make sure it is under the engines, and then there you go. Now just downsize it where you want it. If you want it like tilted a little bit, then that's fine. And then just bigger, and that looks good. Now it's of course going to like overlap over that. We don't want that. Basically what you want to do is go ahead and select where this little corner is, or whatever, basically where like near the bottom of the engines are. Not exactly the bottom, but like pretty much towards their buffer beam, and then just delete. Now if it's like that, then basically you're gonna want it to be to where it looks natural, you know. There you go. Okay, now go ahead and erase that. There you go. So now you've got that set up, and now it's time for the last step, which is basically moving the layer up to where, as you can see, that's like that. So you don't want it like that, you want it like this. Basically just moving the layer up. So last step, which is going back under each of these layers. This is going to be the bottom layer. You're going to want to add a gradient, and then make sure your color that you selected for the background is selected right here. So it's just a simple black, so all you got to do is just go to the gradient tool and then just click in the middle here, or towards the top, and then just, well, actually more like that. There you go. And as you can see, it gives a nice gradient, which I really like. Now, this next option is optional, but if you want to do it, go ahead and add a layer below the engines, and then select your paintbrush tool. Make sure it is like about 70, 75, 90, something like that. And then select white, make sure your hardness is at 0, and then just go ahead and add a little outline around your engine. Now, I'm not really going to try too hard on this because it is just an example, but if you're gonna want to actually make a thumbnail out of this, make sure you like do better than me. But yeah, I personally like to do this sometimes, but for this example, I feel like it'd look better if it was like this. But yeah, you can do that white outline if you want. It's like optional. But this next option, this next thing is completely, you know, you gotta do this because it won't blend well if you don't. So this bottom layer right here where your image is, go ahead and add a layer above it. And now just go to the rectangle tool, make sure your color is white, and then simply just do that. Just add a white rectangle across where the two things collide. Now that you've done that, go ahead and deselect, and now go to Effects, Blurs, and Gaussian Blur. And now just go ahead and size that up to about like 44 to about 40 pretty much. And there you go. Look at that. It's getting somewhere. So final step, all you gotta do is just go to the very top layer, create another layer, make sure this layer is on top of everything, and then go over here to text, make sure your text is black, and then make sure you select your font, which is the one we just downloaded, Humanist 777 black. And I always prefer to italicize it. You don't have to do that, but that's always something I prefer. And then of course, sizing up your font is pretty important too. So let's just do Damien Test, make sure it is all caps. Now you're wondering probably why it's all black. You'll see in just a second. So yeah, Damien Test. Just put it right there. And now go ahead and add another text thing. Make sure it's yellow this time. And then type the exact same thing you typed then. And then make sure it makes a little drop shadow right here. That basically makes it pop. Now you don't have to do this method if you have the plugin, which is a whole different video. I'll probably go ahead and link that in the description too, just in case you wanted to download that plugin. I like that plugin, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use that for the rest of it, but that method was just in case you didn't have it and didn't know how to work it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and speedrun this. Alright, so now that we've got our written by and the user, I'm just going to go ahead and go to effects. This is with the plugin. Just going to go to effects and then object, drop shadow plus, and then distance, strength, only drop shadow, no. There you go, long shadow. Okay, so just go to long shadow and then make sure your angle is down. Then make sure your distance is about 5. And now, as you can see, your thumbnail is done. This is a pretty solid thumbnail, actually. I like it a lot. So yeah, thanks for watching that. And now I'm going to get to the second method, which is basically just doing it for only one engine, like a thumbnail for only one engine. So yeah. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and do this for one engine. So just like before, go to your Thomas logo and then Control C, create a new layer, and then rinse and repeat, hold shift, select the corner, and then just drag it to where it's a good size. So there you go. And now add another layer, make sure it's below everything, and then go over here to your screenshot, and then go to the magic wand, hold shift, and then select the green area. And as you can see, it'll select everything. All you gotta do is just go to a bigger paintbrush tool and then just erase all the green, just like that. Go ahead and deselect, and then click Control C, go over here, and then add it. Now for this example, it would have been better to have the engine facing the other way, but you know, it'll buff, you know, just mirror it and then just put it on this side, just like that, literally just like that. And now that you've done that, go ahead and deselect. It's at a perfect position right now. This actually looks pretty nice. So now go ahead and select your image, Control C like we did before, and then add a new layer, make sure it's below your engine, and then same thing, just add the screenshot. Now this example is actually going to be way easier because all you got to do is just add your background, boom, and then make a layer below your engine. And then this time I do recommend doing the white border. So I honestly prefer doing like a size like 90 for this. Hardness 0, make sure the hardness is at 0. And then like before, just creating the white outline. I just realized I forgot an important step, which is making your background match the engine color. That's my bad. Make sure you make your background, like the border, match the engine's color, like the main character. But yeah, and then just like before, add a layer on top, and then add your text. And again, if you don't have the plugin, this is the method you're gonna have to do for drop shadow. Do a black one first, and then do another one typing the exact same thing, and then making it yellow, and then putting it up here just like that. So yeah, just add the rest of your text, and there you go. Alright, there you go. So now your thumbnail is complete, and that means that both tutorials are complete. So yeah, that is a beginner's guide on how to create a Thomas the Tank Engine thumbnail. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the last 2 episodes of Stories of the NWR, which were remasters of the 98462 trilogy. If you haven't watched that already, go ahead and check out my channel. They should be the most recent uploads, other than this one, of course. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it was long, and I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Thanks again, and I will see you later. Peace.